Now, of course, it's not always foggy down here in the fen. It's just that I tend to pick and choose when I come. And of course, when the fog's predicted, I'm straight down here. But this morning, we've got freezing fog. So we've got an opportunity for hoar frost. Last year was fantastic. We had some beautiful conditions with hoar frost. And I probably came away with some of my best images ever taken from here. So I had high hopes of repeat conditions this morning. However, whilst the fog was lovely, it wasn't really penetrating into the trees. So as I walked through the middle section, not disappointed, maybe slightly disheartened, I decided my best opportunity would be to go out towards the edge of the fen where the trees were getting more opportunity to pick up some of that hoarfrost. I wasn't disappointed. This area offers a lot more compositional opportunities, particularly with the reeds. I'll let you see how I got on. Winter has arrived. Time of the silly hats is upon us. Do you know what? It's gorgeous. It really is. Got some really low-lying fog and mist. We've got some frost. I was hoping we might have some hoar frost like we did last winter, but doesn't seem to have penetrated into the trees here as yet. A lot of people here first thing this morning. No deer shooting this time, so they were allowed in. But yeah, haven't bumped into many yet, but seem to be a lot of cars parked. Anyway, I walked through the middle section first of all, but as I say, the mist really hadn't penetrated in, and it didn't really have a lot of atmosphere to it. And of course there was no hoarfrost, so it didn't come alive like it did last year. At the moment, we've got plenty of this winter left to go. So I thought I'd come to the edge of the fen where we've still got quite a lot of mist and fog here on the edge of the fen, and obviously it blows in to the trees here. And also on the edge of the fen here, you've got a lot of the fen reeds that align the paths here. I've done a lot of trimming here, by the looks of it, a lot of bank management on this edge here, which is, you know, in a way helps because it allows me to get a little bit closer to some of these compositions. And there's some really nice little colours and textures on this section here on the edge. And using the reeds as a bit of a base of the picture works out quite nicely. But particularly, and the reason I've started to talk to you, I've said to you before, I don't go out necessarily to record a video, but and I wasn't sure whether I was going to this morning. But I've put you on and was going to start to talk to you because there's something here that I've stumbled across really, and I just really like the combination of compositions that are in this little scene here. Again, similar to my last video, it's very complex, lots of stuff going on, but I think they all complement each other quite nicely here. So let me show you, and I'll show you in a little bit more close up here on the screen. But you've got two quite dominant birches on the left hand side that pointing out to the left, and then you've got some green of oak, maybe potentially on the right hand side, and then you've got some of the branches that are coming forward, and some of those branches have got frost on them. I wouldn't call it proper hoarfrost, but you've certainly got some ice particles on the edge of the very fine branches that are sticking out. Some of those have got leaves on, some of them haven't. You've got the lovely sort of diffused bluey background because of the fog and the mist. And yeah, there's just a lot going on, and it just shapes quite nicely. So I've actually shot this in lots of ways because I think it works in lots of ways. I think it works as a portrait, and I think it works as a landscape. It probably works as a square. I've not shot it intentionally as a square, but there's probably a square in there. And as I say, it's just a good illustration of quite a complex scene that as a whole scene works well, but also as individual scenes within that complexity works well as well. I'm on the 24 to 120, so I've not got the long lens out, but from where I am situated, what am I on? Probably about 85, 90 mil, something like that. It just gives me enough room to zoom in and out a little bit to take advantage of those different compositions. But yeah, I love the fact that you can find quite a complex looking scene and make lots of different compositions within it. One might work better than the other, but I just enjoy doing that. It's great fun, really good fun. So I don't know what I'm rubbing my hands for because they're quite warm actually. Head's lovely and warm as well in this stupid hat. Right, I'll show you some of these. Let me know what you think. and I'm just going to keep wandering. I might just stick to this little section here as the mist keeps piling in. It just creates a lovely little atmosphere. So enjoying myself. What's the sound about it getting not being too bad for the hands? Well, I've had to put my gloves on because it's a bit chilly now. The wind is starting to pick up a little bit, blowing the mist and fog over, which is lovely, but it's also blowing a lot of cold air, and it's a bit barky. I'm still on the same section. I've literally walked 20 yards along here from the shots I just showed you a second ago. Just grabbing a few shots as I walk along. This one's a slightly wider shot. The patch of birches here that sort of all hang out on the edge here are looking quite nicely, and I particularly love the little patch of reeds in the middle with their ears on top. Is it called ears? It's on top of the reeds, the fluffy bit on top of the reeds. I'm useless. From a fen boy I should know these things. But anyway, I like that because they've caught the frost and they're really sort of standing out a little bit brighter than the rest. And it complements the silvery colour of the birch trees, and we've got a tiny little bit of reddish colour on the branches that are sticking out, the tiny little spindly branches, which adds a nice little kind of contrast. And the scene just disappears off, you know, into the distance. All of these ones this morning, by the way, I'm shooting at f5.6. I've got no reason for this whole scene to be sharp this morning because it's very atmospheric. As long as the key subjects that I'm shooting are in focus, i.e. the trunks, I'll focus on those. I'll zoom right into the trunks and I'll make sure they're sharp, but the rest of the scene just needs to fall off into the atmosphere. So yeah, all 5.6. Also make sure they're a little bit sharper than shooting at sort of f16, which is what I do shoot at quite regularly here. Yeah, so I'll show you this one. I'm going to keep walking, which I need to do, otherwise I'm going to freeze. Yeah, there we go. Have a look at this, and I'll see what else I can find. I've shot this old tree so many times along this path. I love the way it arches over this path, and I've shot it in the fog several times. It does look nice though this morning. I'm going to take another shot of it. Why not? You can't have too many shots, can you? Yeah, what the hell. Yeah, there's another really interesting little section here. It's in one of my favourite areas here in the fen, where lots of paths cross. There's some Scots pines that I'm standing over at the moment. In fact, I took a shot last winter of this Scots pine from way back there on the 100 to 400. Really frosty. It had a real blue cold feel to it. I really liked it. I've got it framed in my office. Anyway, yeah, this little area here, there's a, I assume it's a pine. Yeah, it must be a pine that's broken off. And I'll call them fronds. They're not, but whatever they are, the branches, the leaves, the foliage that's coming off of this pine tree, spines, spikes, whatever they are, they're orangey yellowy colour, and it looks a bit like sort of tree beard. It's just different. It just stands out, and you know, on a morning such as this morning, when it's very similar tones of colour here, there's lots of browns, greens, browns, and obviously the mist helps a little bit, but it's just shone. This pine tree with this yellow beard hanging from it just shone. I'm not sure where I'm standing here looking at it is the best composition. I'm looking a bit too flat onto it. It's the obvious place to stand, and not really sure whether it's the right place. I've taken 4 or 5 shots with different crops in and out from this, but I might just go around the edge of it and see whether there's anything better. I have in my mind, I just feel that this works more as an abstract, just to make the most of those textures and colours. So I've got a feeling I might have to go really close here and get a little scene that's much simpler than the wider scene I'm looking at here. But anyway, it's all good fun. It really is. Surprised actually how many or how few photographers I've seen this one. I've just bumped into a guy that I've met here a few times, but I've not seen that many, which is good in one way. It really is. Okay, I'll see what I end up with this, and I'll let you see it, and then I'll head back. It's a bit cold, and therefore my DJI Pocket 2 is likely to die soon. So if I don't talk to you again, then I'll just share some pictures that I've taken at the end. But hopefully I'll have a chat with you before I disappear. But yeah, I'll show you whatever I come up with here. I'm actually still here at that same composition. I've just probably shown you a few that I took a little bit closer up, and there was a lovely composition right close to the edge where the branches were sort of pointing up, and that looked quite nice. But funnily enough, I just walked back over the track here. You can see, you can't see where I am, but anyway, there's the tracks here, right in the middle track, and I wanted to shoot the tree over that side. And I turned around and literally stood in the middle of the path, and I think this is probably my preferred composition. Let me show you. Turn it back on. Yeah, I'm a lot tighter in now. I'm still got the 24 to 120 on. I'm probably about 120 in on that. But yeah, I just quite like that. There's the birch in the middle, which is the centre point of the image, and then obviously in the background you've got the lovely colours of that sort of yellow tree beard. So yeah, I think from this position it's probably my favourite one actually. So there you go. Oops, and I'm right in the middle of the path. Right, you know what? It's gorgeous here, but it is getting on, and I think I'm done. So I'm going to show you this one. If there's any more I get, I shall put them at the end. Another lovely morning here at home. Every morning's a lovely morning here at home, but in these conditions, it's even better. Okay, till the next time, you take care, I'll see you soon.